Let's talk about the NBA. Why the NBA is dying. Here's the reason. The NBA has carbon copycat teams. Now, in the mid-2000s, you had different identities. Let's talk about identity. You had the LA Lakers from the triangle. They had Kobe, Pau Gasol, and Andrew Bynum. You had the Celtics with their big three. Paul Pierce, KG, Ray Allen. Ray Allen was an elite shooter. And you had Rajon Rondo. And you had the Spurs. You had their big three, Tony Parker with their pick and roll. You could give it to Tim Duncan down low. Ginobili is very crafty. You don't see that kind of craftiness nowadays. You had Lob City, the Clippers. You had Chris Paul throwing lobs to Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, or JJ Redick coming around screens to shoot the ball. Who else? You had the Heat and or the Cavs. Heat, big three, D-Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh. Being athletic, getting after guys on defense and pushing the pace. You had, I guess, the Cavs. You can say the Cavs, Kyrie, K-Love, and LeBron. I'm missing more teams. Just let me know down in the comments. Here's why I think it's dying. You had different identities. You had Lob City, Chris Paul throwing lobs to Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. You had, the Warriors, sorry. You had the Warriors with Steph and Clay shooting a bunch of threes. You had the Spurs getting the ball down low to Tim Duncan or Tony Parker doing a quick pick and roll. You had, how would I describe the Celtics? I guess gritty, tough, very physical because KG set the tone. So that's number one, identity. Nowadays, everyone has the same identity. You have one dynamic playmaker, which is usually your point guard, right? And you usually have three 3-and-D players. Guys who are long, lanky, around 6'6", 6'7", who can guard multiple positions, shoot the three well, off catch and shoot, and also can defend multiple positions. And then you have a big man today. Rim runner, guy who can catch lobs and defend the paint. The problem is, look at the Pacers and the Thunder. This finals matchup. It was the exact same finals matchup. Both teams had a dynamic playmaker, 3-and-D guys, and then one rim running big. Everyone has the same identity. And it's all high pick and roll with their dynamic playmaker, usually the point guard up top. Your point guard makes a play. He either shoots off the dribble, dump it down low for the big man rolling, or kick it out for a three. It's the same plays over and over again. That's why the NBA is boring. That's why I think there needs to be identity shift. Because the analytics makes it so boring. It's smarter to shoot threes and layups, right, to win the game. But it's boring to watch. There needs to be some variety. There needs to be some variety of Kobe-like shots. Of, hey, I'm going to catch the ball in the post, hit a quick fadeaway. Or something like that. Or just like guys post up. There's some post-ups. Joker posts up. Maybe if Bron gets a mismatch, he'll post up. But most of the time, these post-ups are gone. No more back to the basket game. That needs to come back, in my opinion. The mid-range needs to come back in order for the NBA to have the ratings bump up. So that's number one, identity. Everyone has the same identity nowadays. And back in the early 2000s, mid-2010s, everyone had a different identity, which was really cool to see. Okay, you could say the Heat had the athletic talent identity. The Spurs had the continuity, big three identity of steady stuff, of playing basketball the right way, making the right pass. Lob City was all about throwing lobs to the two big men. Warriors were shooting threes. Celtics had tough defense with KG. You could go on the list. The identities are what made each NBA team unique and what made each NBA team you want to root for. Let's talk about another thing, archetype. I kind of briefly mentioned it before. Archetype is huge. So nowadays, like I mentioned, everyone has multiple 3-and-D guys. 3-and-D guys at least on the floor, guard multiple positions. You don't have a stretch four or classic power forward position or your classic shooting guard position. So now there are no more JJ Redick, Kyle Korver, Ray Allen types who are guys who are just going to run around a bunch and come off screens and shoot threes all the time. Clay does that, but Clay's like the last one. So those guys kind of made it fun because those guys were streaky. They're they're not the, I mean, maybe Ray Allen, but JJ Redick, Kyle Korver were defensive liabilities, right? But they're so good at shooting that it made it tough to match up on offense. Like, guys had to chase them. There was hedging, like off the screen. There would be more hedging. Oh, what is this? There'd be more hedging, which was good. And so you miss those kind of archetypes of the streaky shooters. JJ Redick, Kyle Korver coming off screens. That's why that makes the game a little more fun, is because those are different archetypes that are missing. Now there's like 3 identities for each player on every NBA team. Your big man, your playmaker, and your 3D guy. Now, which is, look, it's more efficient to switch, but it makes the game less fun to watch, because now, come to mind, Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams can guard 3 to 4 positions on the floor at a time, which is good for the league, which is good for winning, but it's boring to watch, because now you can't have a JJ Redick on your team. Now he's a defensive liability. Now he's got to be able to play defense. If not, he's not going to get that many minutes, which I understand. But that's what makes the game fun. You get some mismatches, you get some defensive liabilities, you get some weaknesses. I think that's what's missing. And also, look at someone like Sefolosha. Sefolosha was a defensive, great defensive player, but he wasn't known as a catch and shoot guy. He wasn't known for shooting threes a lot, so he'd be a liability in offense. I get it. Someone like Lou Dort, he found his shot, which I love. You know, you need to build your skill set, but I think just watching it is just boring. It really is. I mean, we're blending everyone together, and you think the more skills you gain, the more entertaining basketball will be. Actually, I think it's quite the opposite. I think the game has gotten more boring as the skills have progressed, as people have gotten better because of what I'm saying. It's because everyone's copying the same identity. Everyone is the same type of player. You don't see different types of players like a Blake Griffin, a 4 who can face up, who can occasionally shoot a mid-range and a 3, who can dominate the post. You miss those guys. You miss JJ Redick and Kyle Korver sprinting around the court, coming off screens to shoot threes. Now it's all drive and kick. We need the 4s back, face up 4 like Blake Griffin. We need a type like JJ Redick, a guy who can just come off screens and shoot a bunch of threes. That's what we're missing.